Tony, welcome to Gun.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? All right, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Tony, I love you. Tony's got half of ass. Some say that it's made of glass. He fell on it one August day, broke his ass in many ways. Humpty Dumpty had a fall. Tony Walker was the wall. Had an issue with his leg. Now he thinks he's egg. I ate an egg. My friend Tony Walker. I'll punch you right in the freaking eye. Not you, Tony. I can never punch you because I love you too much. I can't punch somebody like you. And you can't even run after me. It's not even a fair fight. It's not even fair. All right? Tough guy? Tony, you're a phony baloney. I'm gonna cry. Tony, you're the best. You're hysterical. Knockem dead. Comedy show. Tony.
Well, hello, everybody. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Good. Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday. Welcome to the Knockem Day Comedy Show, coming at you live from Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Right there on the good old YouTube. Let me hear from you today. Hit us up with comments and stuff. And because I'm by myself today. That's right. Michael has shafted me yet again. Michael Kaplan not coming in today, that son of a bitch. Oh, Michael, wherefore art thou, says John Rusiello. Yep, he canceled on me again, Romeo. Good morning, Mickey. So he canceled on me last night, and, I'll tell you, I'm going to be shutting my mic off several times today because I'm going to be coughing. I'm still just not 100%, and when Mike canceled, I just didn't have the energy. I just didn't have the energy to start looking around. Oh, who am I going to find? Who's available? Who's around? And then, depending on who could have been, then do I have to do research, and to come up with stuff to talk about? I'm just not 100%. So my energy level's been low. I haven't been doing a lot, and there's a lot I got to catch up on. But I've been getting by, but doing as little as I can. And I'm getting mad. I'm getting tired of the cough. I'm getting tired of being tired. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is slowly getting better. And Lisa, my wife, who I caught this from, she said she went about 10, 11 days before she started feeling normal again. And this would be day 9 for me since I caught it. So hopefully... Called Jeff, says Mickey. Well, Jeff will be here tomorrow. We have musician Kenny Forgione coming in. Of course, Frank will be here. Kenny Forgione's been in here many times, and his lovely wife, Sue Turner. They will be here. Great musicians, great singers. Kenny fronts a band called Wondrous Stories. It's Kenny's birthday, actually, tomorrow. So I'm a little confused, actually. It's his birthday, but yet he's coming in here. He's celebrating with us, and he's bringing Steve Holley. Steve Holley is a drummer who has played with Paul McCartney. He has played with Julian Lennon. He has played with Joe Cocker, who belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's played with pretty much everybody. So why Kenny Forgione is doing that for me on his birthday? I'm a little confused. But yeah, and Jeff will be here as well. And then there's also keyboard player Chris Clark will be here tomorrow. Yeah, we got a full house in here tomorrow. Me, Frank, Kenny, his wife, Steve, Chris, Jeff. So there'll be 8 of us in here tomorrow. Full house. Vicky, I love the background that you're using today. Yeah, me too. You know what? I'll get me out of the way so you can see the whole picture for a second. Whoops. You know what? I can't do that. Or can I? You know what? I'll go like this. There we go. So there's the full picture. Should I keep it like this for the whole show? Oh, John's calling. All right, let me do this. Okay. Good morning, Romeo.
Vitamin B12, sir.
Yeah, I've been down in a lot of Mucinex.
Yeah, well, Mucinex is good for the congestion, but vitamin B12 will give you the pep that you lost.
The pep. I need the pep.
You need the pep. Vitamin B12. It's a cure-all. It's wonderful.
All right. I will take your advice, Dr. Rusiello.
Well, listen, I'm no doctor, but it works for me, and you know what Mrs. Rusiello does for a living, and I'm surprised you're oncologist. You know, you haven't. Thank God, you haven't gone to one for a while. But my oncologist, he promotes it big time. In fact, he gives me the shot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need the shot. You can get over the counter pills, but he gives me the shot.
No, you're absolutely right. My oncologist used to give me that, and thankfully it's been so long that I've forgotten.
Well, there you go. So I'm here to. I'm your servant, Mr. Walker. I'm here to serve you and to remind you, and to hopefully that you will get better.
You will. You are a loyal servant, and I appreciate it.
Listen, your smallest wish is my greatest desire. All right. Now let's get to the topic of your friend, Mr. Kaplan.
Yeah.
If you were too busy to return my phone call, and we were playing phone tag. I had a feeling this was going to happen.
Why?
And I wanted to forewarn you. All right. I had a feeling because he struggles on making decisions, as you very well know.
Yes, I do know.
So he was hemming and hawing and he wouldn't ask me for the advice because you know what I would tell him.
Right.
Yeah, I say, get your ass in the show where you fucking belong, you asshole. In no uncertain terms. But yes, this was not a surprise.
Oh, okay, interesting. Well, I don't think I can really say what. I mean, he's okay, but I don't think I can say why he's not here. But it's a good reason.
No, it's not.
Oh,
because
okay.
And I'll tell you why it's not a good reason without getting into particulars. All right, it's a dead end.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dead end.
Okay.
Yes, it's a dead end. You and I both know it. Listen, you were involved in union stuff and politics and especially out in Long Island. You know the deal. So I totally disagree with it. But
interesting. All right.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Why do you have Dick Van Dyke and Rob Reiner?
Yeah, and
because they're old.
No, I just thought it was a funny picture, so I just thought it would make a good background.
Okay, well, the best background is the Tony Walker backgrounds, the guys that helped Judas and all the guys. This other stuff is ridiculous.
Oh, all right. I'm sorry.
All right, so listen, straighten it out. Love you. Goodbye.
Romeo checking in. All right, so we have one vote from Vicky. She says she likes the background, and Romeo doesn't like it. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on comments. You are where nice that why he come in, Tony. What? And there's my phone call. She's all excited to hear John's voice. Good morning, Ann. Nice to see you. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just tired of being tired of being sick. Looking forward to this crap disappearing once and for all. Yeah, I forgot the fire hydrant, so I had to stop next door and get some water. I forgot the I forgot the fire hydrant because I left the house early this morning. It was a nice morning. The Lisa and myself and the kids, it was one of those rare weekday mornings where we were all around. So we went out to breakfast. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my kids for a second, actually. I like to wish Sammy, my daughter, a good luck today. Today, Sammy is getting another tattoo. She, in fact, I'll show you. This is the tattoo she already has. She got this one, maybe like almost 2 years ago, I think. We had a dog. It was a pit bull named Manny, We got him, in 2010. This dog took to Sammy immediately. It was the two of them definitely had some kind of bond, and she didn't do anything in the house without him. Sammy, when she was younger, we used to have a swing for her, a swing set outside, obviously, and she she spent hours on her swing, and it was very strange. They had such a bond, her and this dog. The dog would be on the couch in the living room. He would jump up and start running towards the back door before you even hear her bedroom door open. But you would see him. He'd get up, he'd go. 2 seconds later, she's coming out of her room, and they would go outside together. And he just sat there by her. And she was, I'm telling you, swinging on a swing set for hours, literally hours. And he just sat there the whole time hanging out. Great dog. He died way too soon. He had cancer. And so that was the tattoo of Manny. He died September of 17. So today she's getting, and was that I should know this, but I have forgotten. It is her right shoulder. Okay. So today on her left shoulder, she is getting another tattoo. You know what? I'm just realizing this now. I don't even know what she's getting. So she had the tattoo I just showed you in honor of Manny. She's getting another tattoo to honor her grandfather, Lisa's father, who died in September of 22. And then last year, a cousin of Sammy's had passed away. So she's getting something to honor both of them. And I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what kind of design it's going to be. Lisa's father is a retired policeman from Nassau County. But I don't. I know she was looking into like a badge or something. But I don't know. Jeez, I'm just realizing that now. I don't know what the final design will look like. Well, I guess I'll see it later. Vicky, I'm 2 days behind you on sickness, so you get better soon. Yeah, I hear you, Vicky. Hey. Let's see. It answers, I love a good dog story. I just lost 2 dogs and 1 tortoise. Beautiful memory tattoo. Oh, wow. Do I have tats? John, are you asking me if I have tats? No, I do not. The only thing I consider a tattoo is this is right up here where the shell that my stump sits in. It's called a socket. It has the Mets emblem on the outside, so I consider that my tattoo. And sorry about your dogs. When did you lose them? And how many dogs do you currently have? And a tortoise. Wow. Do tortoises live a long time? I know nothing about tortoises. I don't know anything about them. Do they live a long time? Do they make good pets? I think they, what can you do with them? They can't run around and play. They're not going to play fetch. You don't have, 8 hours by the time they fetch it and bring it back to you. So, so good luck to Sammy today getting her tattoo. Her appointment is right now. It was the appointment was 11 o'clock. So she's probably getting stabbed right now as we speak. So good luck to her. And then I'm going to talk about my other guy, Zach, who you guys know well, who's been in here many times, and he has the there we go. And he has the Let Them Cook, a superhero podcast. I saw this picture this morning on Instagram, and I'm going to read to you the Instagram post that went along with it. It was written by Deborah Markowitz. Deborah Markowitz, well, you know what? I'll just read this to you. Deb is a filmmaker. Excuse me. So I'm just going to read the post to you. So let me tell you about this guy. We were in production on a feature film, and I was invited to do a podcast about it on Knockem Dead Comedy. The host, Tony Walker, mentioned that his son was starting in the film industry. When we had a big filming day coming up, I asked Tony if his son wanted to help out. We liked him so much, we brought him in for the rest of the film. Any assistant director classes or any other trainings we had, he jumped right in. He had done some assistant directing work before, but we have our own ways of doing things. We decided to let him assistant direct our short film called Assassin. Then we knew he'd be ready to do our current feature film, Brimstone. This film has had more than its fair share of challenges, pushing me and John, Deb's husband, more than any of the other films. I asked Zach to step up and take on additional work because I knew we'd sink if we didn't. Good filmmaking on a ridiculous budget is harder than you can imagine, but the stories need to be told, and we need to tell them. Zach has given us a little room to breathe while keeping us on track and helping us to retain some sanity. I wanted to shout him out because good work and talent should always be recognized and commented. So I present Zach Walker, Assistant Director. And like I said, and then this picture was came along with the post. I just saw it this morning. It's like 6 a.m. And that's the story. Deb was on this show, and I mentioned to her that that my guy is in film, and I'll never forget it. The show had ended, and we weren't even we were still sitting here in the studio, and she said, I need people, and the rest is history. It turns out Deb's husband knew Zach already. Deb's husband John does. He teaches at Five Towns, and Zach took one of his classes. So they knew each other already. So, so that was kind of cool. And so congratulations. So good luck to Sammy this morning, and congratulations to Zach for doing a nice job with Deb. She's told me several times that how much she enjoys him. Travis Grant, who he does the Treading Water podcast. He is in a lot of Deb's movies. He reached out to me the other day to tell me how much he enjoys Zach. So that's cool. Ann has 5 dogs and 9 cats. My daughter is big in a rescue. We always have one rescue, and successful get forever homes. Tortoises, they live up to 80 years? Really? Am I right? I'm seeing that right? She wrote 80. I had no idea they lived that long. So you'll get one tortoise and that's it, and you're good for life. Wow, I had no idea. Damn. So how old was the tortoise you just lost? And sorry that you lost the tortoise. Wow. Okay. All right. So wanted to wish the kids well. And so that was so that's the story there. Have you guys been watching did you guys watch Hershey and the Keys last night by any chance? Last night they had Steve Heitner, who, for all you Seinfeld fans, Steve Heitner played Banya on Seinfeld. Great guest. Seems like a super, super nice guy. I thought the show went really well. Vicky, for you to hear a compliment in passing is nice, but to see it on social media is really great. Oh. Yeah, it was. It's not like it's his birthday or anything, so it's not like I was expecting people to say something nice about him. This was totally out of the blue. So those are the kind of compliments I like, when it's not like obligatory, when it just comes out of nowhere like that. So it was a nice way to start the day. And that picture of him, I thought, was such a great picture of him. So thankfully he's got his mom's looks. Yeah, that's a great shot. When he makes a Lifetime movie, that'll be the picture. Okay. So a great guest last night in Steve Heitner. He's actually coming to Governors in May. He's playing this weekend in New Jersey, and our pal Mike Keegan is going to be on the show. So that's kind of cool. And I got them at 2 days old. Not when you were 2 days old, when they were 2 days old. They still had their umbilical cords attached. He is almost 2 years old. Wow. Very nice. So, Steve Heitner played Banya on Seinfeld. Great guest. Seemed like a really nice guy. He's been around the block when it comes to acting. He's been in a lot of stuff. But he's 65 years old, and he said he's really just concentrating on his stand-up these days. So they were talking shop a little bit. Ann watched Hershey and the Keegs last night. Good show. Thank you, Ann. Ann's great. She watches all the shows here. So watching that last night, it got me thinking about all the shows here, even the ones in the past, and just thinking about all the different guests. We've really had some big names, here, and some super guests. And I wanted to ask you guys who were some of your favorite guests, and then I was just trying to think of big names that we've had on all the shows. And sticking with Seinfeld, you remember the guy when they were trying to pitch their own show to NBC, and they made a pilot. And then Kramer gets into the argument with the actor who's playing him, and they're like, I'm Kramer. So that guy who played Kramer is Larry Hankin. He was also on Friends when Friends first started. When Friends first started, they had the landlord. They used to come down and give them a hard time. That's Larry Hankin. He was also on Breaking Bad. He was the junkyard guy, the guy that owned the junkyard. He's been in a million different shows. Larry Hankin. He was on Steve Squared once. Donversations. I mean, think of all the names in comedy that Donversations has had. Paul Provenza, Scott Ovington. I think it's Scott Ovington. Don Jameson. Just so. I mean, the list goes on with the amount of interesting people Don has had. And then even on this show we've had one of my personal favorite shows here was when we had Bill Champlin, who used to be in the band Chicago. We had such a great interview with him. Kevin Pollak was a great one. I guess Kevin Pollak. I think Kevin Pollak arguably was the biggest name that we've had, at least on this show. Paul Mercurio, who works on Late Night with Colbert. Ray Abruzzo, who played Little Carmine on The Sopranos. That was a great interview, too. I did not expect him to be so funny. I didn't know much about him. But, yeah, what a great interview that was. Mookie Wilson, of course. That was a big day for me personally. We've had Ben Bailey from Cash Cab. We've had Vic DiBitetto has called in. Of course, Jackie, of course, who's been in here hundreds of times. And then, when we do the Green Room show, we've gotten some great guests in here, people that are playing the club. Orlando Jones was in here. Roy Wood Jr., I'll never forget that. And I credit Sally with it. Roy Wood Jr. sat right there. I was in the middle. Sally was here. But him and Sally really kind of hit it off. And Roy Wood Jr. had such a great time in here that he went on before his show. Went out there, performed, and when he was done, he came right back in here. Again, if that doesn't tell you something, that was a proud moment. Who else has been in here with Green Room? Orlando Jones, Roy Wood Jr. Shane Gillis has been in here with during the Green Room show. But one of my favorites, we had a comedian named Nathan McIntosh. He was headlining the club, and we were talking to him before the show, and we were telling him what we do in here, and he was like, oh, and we said, if you want to come in. He said, oh, yeah, I would love to. That would be fun. So he does a show, and it did not go well. And the show did not go well. He ended, took his bow, walked right off the stage, didn't stop. He just walked right through the green room and just came right in here, sat down, and just went off on how the audience sucked and how much fun he did not have. And he really went off. And that's what we love about doing green room. You know, you get, you hear all the different point of views from all the comedians. And we don't just get the headliners. We get everybody, new comedians, people that are playing here for the first time, and it's interesting to hear the different points of view. And yeah, to hear from that guy how much he hated it. That was one of the more memorable ones for me. Romeo, that's so great. Ann, you are a special lady to take care of animals. Well, yeah, she takes care of you. Kevin Pollack and Bob Nelson, says Carol. Yeah, Bob Nelson, when he was in here, that was incredible. And I'll never forget the first time he was in here. We were doing a green room show. Oh, it was the night they were doing a benefit for Bob, because Bob had, I think he's well now, but he had, some cancer issues, some health issues. So they were raising money for him, and they were doing a special show for him in here. And he came in and sat on that couch with Rob Bartlett and just reminiscing. I had never met either one of them before that night, but they came in here and they sat right on the couch and just started doing old bits, reminiscing about old bits, talking. I didn't know at the time when Rob Bartlett came in here. What was that, like maybe 2 months ago? That Bartlett was in here. He said that was the first time he saw Nelson in like 20 years. I had no idea. And to see guys like those two, Nelson and Bartlett, I mean, they're older than me, and those are the guys that I grew up watching. Well, I don't know about growing up, but definitely like when I started to really take in comedy and start to really appreciate it and start to really get into it, those are the guys. In the 80s when I was a teenager, that's when I really started taking notice of it. And I would see Bartlett and I would see Nelson and Jackie the Joke Man and Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal was one of my, I loved when he did stand-up. I wish he would go back to it. So, yeah, it was such a thrill, and it's so cool to see some of these guys, in the flesh here talking to me. It's really wild. We've had some wonderful guests in this room. And then, of course, I saved for last Peter Schwartz. I mean, this guy is just taken over since he's been in here. Quickly becoming the most popular show with the biggest names in sports and music, right? He's had Mike Del Giudice, but just sports alone. He's had Hojo and he's had Phil Simms. I mean, that just blew me away. I think for me personally, Phil Simms was the biggest name he's gotten yet. Hershey and the Keegs, yeah, they, again, to get Steve Heitner, they've had Anthony Recker, they've had Steve Summers. Just a lot of great names in sports. And Hershey and the Keegs, I think it's sometime in February. They got Todd Zeal, the former Met. So yeah, a lot of great. And Hershey and the Keegs, they've had some interesting guests too. The Drawings by Trent, is that what it's called? Forgive me. The young autistic kid whose parents take care of him. He's nonverbal, but I think he draws, right? And people buy his work. And even Peter Schwartz, next week, I think it's next Thursday, they have John's Crazy Socks. They're going to be in the studio here. John's Crazy Socks, if you're not familiar, John is a young man with Down syndrome. And with the help of his father, they put together a business where they make socks. But, they have, cool designs on them, personalized designs. And it's become a thriving business. And they're right here on Long Island. And, they're coming in next week to join Peter. Oh, John, my sunshine. It's so rewarding to do this. The ones that don't get adopted, we keep. So John and Anna having their little love affair. I will say I will say this. The big stars really don't impress me. What impresses me is the local talent you have on your show. Like Fremder? Fremder says, it's funny you watching Mario Bosco pull up in a Hot Wheels. Carol says she loves John and his dad. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I had a feeling, Carol. I had a feeling you would know all about them. So, yeah, that's, I think that's next Thursday that Peter's bringing them in. Yeah, and I didn't, so, yeah, today's Wednesday. This is my first time on since doing Peter's show yesterday. I don't know, for any of you that may have seen it, I don't know what happened. We, so, I've talked about it so many times. We have the, the programs and the hardware that we use that allow us to stream and do these live feeds to you guys. And you guys know back in October, we got a new computer, we got some new hardware, and things have been working very nicely since then. Peter and I do my show yesterday. Half hour after I'm done, Peter starts his show. I'm about to, get going here, and all of a sudden I get this weird error message. I'm like, and it won't stream. I'm like, what the? Messing with it, not working. Okay, so each show has its own template. That we, and then we have the program. The program allows us to have each a template for each show. So that way you can save all the settings and all the graphics and all that. Like I don't have to load them, every day. So, yeah, I'm getting this error message and the show won't stream live. I'm like, what the fuck? So I shut it down, and it still won't work. I try a different template, and it still is not working. I'm like, what is happening here? So now I'm freaking out. It's like 1:03. Peter's like, no problem. Thank goodness Peter is so cool about stuff like that because I'm freaking out. After many, many tries, I got it to work, but not with Peter's template. So I had to, I'm rushing around trying to get all the graphics, trying to get all the art, trying to get, and he's got sponsors that we show graphics for, and he had videos that he wanted me to play, and this and that. So I'm like going crazy. So I get him started without his music and without certain graphics, and we just start the show. And again, he was great about it, and he's a true professional, so he just does it. And I'm just grabbing things and making it all look right as the show is happening. And because I'm doing that, I'm forgetting to do certain things that I should be doing in the moment. And it all worked out. I had all the graphics. I got everything working. By the end of the show, everything was back to normal. But but I think my craziness was contagious because at one point Peter was giving out the phone number to one of his sponsors, and the phone number he reads out is not his. Is not the sponsor's. It's his. It's his own home phone. So he looks at me. I mean, we're live. He looks right at me. He goes, and we had sound issues, of course, in the beginning of the show. So, Peter, and when we've had technical issues before with Peter's show, so when that happens, I usually take the footage, I edit it, and make it all nice, and then I'll take down the live feed and I'll repost the show. So Peter turned to me right in the middle of the show live. He goes, you're going to edit this, right? And I go, yeah. He goes, all right, be sure to edit this part out. He goes, I just read out my home phone. I'm like, whoops. Okay, Peter, yeah, we don't want that. Well, I'm sure some people do, but yeah, we don't want it live. We don't want it floating on YouTube. So yeah, I took the live feed down yesterday. We actually redid the intro, with sound, of course. So then I edited everything together, and it all worked out in the end. But, yeah, so it was just a crazy afternoon. And then after his show was over, literally, 10 minutes after his show was over, I did a test. And I streamed live, and everything worked just fine. So I have no idea what in the world happened and why we couldn't get Peter's show working right. So hopefully we'll be good to go tomorrow when Peter's here. Carol says, ever think about talking to them about Sammy and a job It's in Huntington. They're actually in Farmingdale, which is even closer. I have not talked to them about Sammy getting a job there. I'll have to find out. They do. They bring in people that work there, but they're usually like Sammy goes to a day hab, and what, if I'm not mistaken, what John's Crazy Socks do, they go to the day habs, and they say, well, why don't you guys bring your guys in and have them work for a day, like one day a week, but like they're not hiring individuals. They just work out a deal with the day habs, and the day habs come in. I'm almost positive that's what they do, because Sammy has worked there through her day hab. But I'll find out. It would be really nice if she was able to get a job there. Fremder, this just in. Bruce Lee's cousin was in a terrible accident. Now he's a vegetable. His name is Brock Lee. Terrible. All right. All right, hang on. I just got a text from Lisa. Let's see. Let's see how it's going over there. Seconds after she started, we hear this from a YouTube video that was playing in the tattoo parlor. All right, let's see. All right, hang on. I just got a text from Lisa. All right, wait a minute. That's me. Hang on. Let's see. Okay, so I didn't really get all that. I think that's... Hang on, I'll explain this in a second. I think that's Dave Matthews. I think. So what he said something about a praying mantis that's flying around. So the tattoo parlor is, I think, just on their screen, they're showing a Dave Matthews concert. And he's up at the microphone. He goes, "We have a praying mantis flying around here." And I can't get the rest of what he said there. But the reason Lisa sent that to me is because, like I mentioned, Sammy's getting the tattoo to honor her cousin who died last year. I don't know the details, but there is some kind of connection. There is some kind of connection between him, the cousin, and a praying mantis. Like Sammy's had a little praying mantis in her room in honor of her cousin. Zach has one as well. I don't know if this kid just liked them or if that was like a nickname. I don't know the details, but that's weird. They're just getting started, and then the guy, on the screen, the guy says something about a praying mantis. That's why I think that might be what she's getting, something with a praying mantis on it. Kenny Forgione's watching. Just tuned in. How's it going? He said. Kenny, we were talking about you at the start of the show. I was telling everybody that you're coming in tomorrow with Steve Holly, coming in with your wife and Chris Clark. I am going to call you. I know you called me the other day. I am going to call you back this afternoon. Kenny is the band Wondrous Stories. They're celebrating an anniversary. Is it 30 years, I think? Kenny wants to play a video that he made, I think, for their 20th anniversary. Kenny, I can play the video. However, the music that you have with this video, I can't play because of copyright issues. What was it? It was music from the band. Yes, it was some Beatles music. I can't. So with your permission, I'm just gonna throw different audio up to go along with the video, if that's okay. Yeah, because I'll get hit with copyright issues. So, 31 years of Wondrous Stories, one of the biggest bands here on Long Island. They're fantastic. And once again, Kenny Forgione tomorrow. His wife, Sue Turner. Steve Holly, tremendous drummer. Chris Clark, who is a session keyboard guy. Frank, my pal Jeff will be here. Yeah, it's going to be a full house in here tomorrow. It's going to be great. Celebrating Kenny's birthday. It's going to be a good day. Really looking forward to that. Carol, how do you feel about her getting a tattoo? I'm cool with it. I don't have any issues with it whatsoever. I'm not big, I'm not a big tattoo guy. And I know that's become like the minority. Most people have tattoos these days. It was just never something I was really into. I don't have anything against them. And I've seen plenty of beautiful tattoos. It's just not something I have any interest in. But no, I don't. I don't like if Sammy just gets it. She has one on the shoulder now. She's doing the other shoulder. I'm not a fan of the people get them all over their bodies and all over their faces. I'm not a fan of that. I think it kind of takes away. Yeah. Yeah, people that put them all over their faces and stuff. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like. Yeah, I don't mind sporadic, but some people just get it all over and I'm not a big fan of that. But what do you think, Carol? Does it matter? Do you have any thoughts on it? You have a few, don't you? Fremder, I have a tattoo of eyes on my eyelids, so it looks like I'm paying attention as I nap. It's a good idea. I'm sure a lot of you guys need that when I'm on here by myself. All right, what do we got going on? We've been talking a lot about Saturday Night Live lately, because that movie that just came out, all the documentaries. Yeah, Carol has 4, right? That music special was just on the other night. I'm going to try and watch that today. So I came across a list of some people that who have auditioned for SNL but didn't pass. Kevin Hart, Stephen Colbert, Jennifer Coolidge, Mindy Kaling, Lisa Kudrow, Jordan Peele, John Goodman, Kathy Griffin, Donald Glover, Jim Carrey. Those are just some people that auditioned for SNL and didn't make it. Some of those people really surprised me. I think Lisa Kudrow would have been fantastic. I think John Goodman would have been fantastic. Jim Carrey, of course. How did Jim Carrey not make it? That's crazy. John Goodman is one of my favorite actors. I know he does a lot of goofy stuff, but man, you see that you catch him in a good drama, you see just how good that man can act. He is something. What a great actor that man is. But yeah, they just put out a special about all the musical performances. They've had that too. They've had such great music. I mean, so many historic moments, right? Comedy and music, right? It's crazy. And I have one tattoo. Planned on getting more, just never got around to it. What tattoo do you have, and where is it? And hopefully it's in a place where people can't see it, because then I'm going to ask for a picture. Excuse me. At least we got Jim Carrey on In Living Color. Yeah. True. And that came from Nick Greystone. Nick Greystone, he should be on Saturday Night Live. He'd be good on that show. All right, so what do we all? All right, so here's the deal. So like I said, Mike Kaplan bailed on me today. And because I'm just getting over the flu, whatever the hell I had, I just didn't have the energy to start picking up the phone or reaching out to anybody, say, hey, you want to come do the show? I just didn't have it. My energy level's been really kind of low. And it was one of those days where I wasn't very successful with finding a lot of stuff to talk about. And that's why I like having people in here with me. Because even if I don't have a lot to talk about, you just don't know where it's going to go, and it could lead to other places and having some decent conversation. But on a day like today when I'm by myself, like, you better have a lot to talk about, or it's going to go like the show's been going so far. So, so now I'm just looking, and I've told you guys before, sometimes I'll find a story and just hold on to it, sometimes for months, because I usually have guests or co-hosts, and we just talk about other things, and then I just save this other stuff for moments like this. So what do we got? This is from a few weeks ago. Police. Oh, all right, Nick. All right, let me take Nick Graystone's call, and then I'll get back to that. Let's see. Do that and this. Did you ever audition for Saturday Night Live?
I never did.
You ever thought about it?
Of course, I'd love it. That'd be like the ultimate to be on that platform. But I just never did, man.
I could see you doing it. You don't really like when I know you're a big horror film guy, but you're a funny guy. I could definitely see you kicking ass in a scary movie or Naked Gun type movie.
I mean, I guess I would try. I don't know. I got to see. I know trying stand up, dude. I think I would fucking not do good at all.
Yeah, stand up is it's not easy, man. It's not. Although I do think if you you maybe took one of the classes and then worked on the material, you definitely have you have a presence about you. You have a good personality, a good energy. I think you'd be fine, with the right material up there. Especially with the way you dress and the nail polish, and all that stuff. I think people would want to hear what you have to say.
I like what I'm doing.
I wasn't sure what was happening.
Hot news off the press.
Oh, do you? Yeah, what?
So Rex Heuermann was in court today, and the defense came back and want him to throw out the DNA because they say it's not been used before like this. It's like a new version of DNA testing.
Oh, okay.
So they want that out, and also they want him tried separately for each case.
Yeah, you had talked about that on your show last week. To try him separately. I mean, we'd be talking years, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, if they have to go through each case, like if he's, pleading not guilty, then they have to go through the motions of everything and witnesses. I don't know about bringing so many witnesses, but yeah, man, like I would say like each case would take, several months, and then, it would be grueling, I would think, for those families to go through all that.
Right. And a lot of taxpayer
money.
But
I see the defense's thing because, if they have, if they want to try him in one thing, like also with the prosecution, they try him in like all of his cases together and they fuck up. That's it. Then that's done. Then they have like, they could try him like on a civil case or whatever, but after that he would be off,
Yeah, right.
So, he's due back in court, February 18th, I believe.
So no decision was made on these today?
No. No, it's not going to be, man. I feel like they're still trying to, they're still out of the initial Gilgo 10 or 11 victims. There's still 4 that are not tied to him yet, so I think they're still rooting around with those, with that evidence and stuff, and trying to figure out if he's going to be tried or not for that, or even other victims,
Right.
So,
well, that's
going to be a while, man.
That's the thing with him, who knows? It's probably not just Gilgo. I mean, the list. This guy is like a modern day Jack the Ripper, man.
Could be, yeah. I mean, like the last one before this one, when they charged him with, this one was found outside of Gilgo, and it was like in the North Sea. They found part of her remains. So, and now they're even saying that there's a possibility that Bitroff, which is John Bitroff, he's serving 25 to life for 2 killings in the late 90s or whatever. They're saying that he's possibly innocent, and because they found another set of DNA on one of the victims that possibly is Rex's.
No kidding.
So, yeah, it opens up doors with that. This guy could have been sitting behind bars for 10 years, an innocent man. There's a possibility, that maybe they hooked up with the same girl, like, they went to the same call girl or whatever, and they both had sex with her, but you don't know. If it's Rex, then, if he killed all these other people, why wouldn't he kill this one?
Right.
So.
Wow. Crazy stuff, man.
Yep.
February 18th, you'll be there, or Christine's going, both of you?
Christine went today. I think she's going to go again. I still haven't gone to the court thing.
Oh, is
I
that
don't
right?
like the court. I'm not a court guy. I'd rather be on the scene, like in front of someone's house, the neighbors and stuff, and
yeah,
not blend in, but do my thing there. I don't want to get dressed up and go in there and be something I'm not.
I hear you.
I'd rather wear my Texas Chainsaw Massacre hat and my cut-off shirt and look like a real hillbilly fuck.
That's fantastic. Hey, well, thanks for the update, pal.
You got it, brother. Feel better, man. You don't sound too good.
I had the flu last week, and I'm not 100% yet. Getting there, but hopefully just a couple more days and I'll be done, man. My wife, I got it for my wife. She had it for about 11 days, she said, before she started to feel normal, and I'm on day 9. So hopefully.
Yeah, it took me, man. I was sick for a while when I banged in that week that I couldn't do it.
Right.
I had RSV, bro. It kicked the shit out of me. So yeah, man, I get it.
Yep. Yeah, it's but it's at the point now where I'm just annoyed. I just want it gone already.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. It sucks.
Yeah, but thanks, man. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next Thursday.
Later, dude.
See you, brother. There you go. Nick Greystone checking in. That's cool. Very nice. That's crazy shit, that Rex Human stuff. But okay. Let's see. And I've mentioned it a few times now. Whatever it is I have, flu or whatever, it's affected my eyes. And I thought I was crazy at first, but I was like, man, I can't see as well. And then I mentioned it to Jeff because he had it too. And I said to him, does it affect your eyes? He goes, yeah, actually. He goes, it has. Poor Mike, says Carol. Hope all is okay. Yeah, he's fine. Once a year I have to re-ink my tattoo, says Fremder, of the mistletoe on my balls. Oh, my goodness. So unfortunate how a serial killer can wreck so many lives. All those victims were stabbed before they were stabbed. No, Carol, there have been no charges against Rex's wife. She is actually not even here anymore. Rex's family has moved down to, I believe it's South Carolina, North or South Carolina. Romeo, I guarantee this guy did not work alone. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. They feel that he didn't work alone. There's even Tom Kelly, comedian Tom Kelly, who's from Massapequa. He personally thinks Rex is not going to get charged once these trials begin. He thinks Rex is going to beat it. I personally don't think so. I don't think he worked alone, but I think he's going to go down alone. For whatever reason, he pissed off the wrong people, and he's become the scapegoat. He's going to take the hit for all this. And a lot of people feel that there's, could be connections between Rex and the former police chief, John Burke, out there in Suffolk County. That guy is a piece of garbage. And I personally think he's involved. Fremder, according to Rex, women are not good backseat drivers because they're always complaining. Why are we driving into the middle of forests at night? Rex says, can you stop complaining? I'm trying to maintain an erection. Oh, Fremder. The other night, my wife said she wants to get a little kinky and have me tie her up, but then she got all upset when we got to the train tracks. But Rex definitely beat it. I can tell you that, yeah. Didn't you hit us just yesterday with the train tracks one? All right. Crazy people, isn't it? Why would he not get charged? They have so much evidence against him. I don't know, man. The fact that it took them, and John Rusciello could probably touch upon this better than me, but the fact that it took them so long to arrest him in the first place, that to me that means something. Yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is just kind of weird. How all those victims, and then in that same area, and yeah, I don't know. I don't think he worked alone. And and then there's the question everybody's been asking. If you're the wife, how do you not know what's going on in that house? I do agree, but at the same time, I guess it's possible. I guess. All right, check this one out. So, like I said, I'm just going through stuff that I've been sitting on because that's all I got today. Sorry that I know there's not a lot going on in the show today. I'm just not 100%, and I don't have a guest, and I'm just not. I probably should have taken the day off. I'm trying to get back into it. Like I did all the shows last week except mine. And this week trying to get back into the swing of it with the guests and stuff. But maybe I should have taken today off just to rest up. I don't know. All right, so here's the story. Police in India have arrested a man accused of poisoning the food at his niece's wedding. And he did this because he did not care for the groom. Mahesh Jyotiram Patil was caught allegedly spiking the food at a wedding in Kolhapur, about 200 miles southeast of Mumbai, on Tuesday, January 7th. As he was allegedly putting the poison in the food, he was caught by a waiter who alerted the family members. The food was then removed before anyone can consume it. How crazy is that? Yeah, I don't like the groom, so I'm just going to kill him. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh, here's one. Here's something that makes me mad. And you guys have heard me talk about, in the past about, health benefits and stuff like that. Oh, all right. Well, hang on. Hang on, Carol. What are you wearing?
Slippers.
Slippers.
I'm just wearing slippers, yeah.
That's it?
It's freezing down here. No, I got a sweatshirt on and sweats. Sorry.
Did you get hit with some of that snow?
Yeah, we got snow.
Wow.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, I think like 5 inches we got. So
well, that's a lot for down there.
Well, we usually get snow.
Oh, do
so you? It's, yeah, I mean, we're in the same, let me see, latitude, longitude, that's the one I don't know. Longitude, maybe. Longitude, I don't know. As Atlanta. So that's we're pretty far north. We're not, but then Houston and like New Orleans, when they got the snow, that was all south. We didn't even get any. Wow. So it's very rare for like Austin, Houston, and even Galveston, which is on the beach, right off the Gulf.
Yeah.
And I don't know what Gulf to call it now. So, but Yeah, we didn't get any, which is very rare. It just stayed south. So, and I have friends in Florida, and they're like, we have snow. They don't have shovels. They don't know what the fuck to do with that shit. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, places like, Canada laugh at us up here when we shut down our schools from 5 inches of snow. Down there, forget it. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't know what in the world to do with themselves.
Oh yeah, they canceled school. It was like right after the New Year's, and the kids went back for a day, and then they canceled again for like 2 days because we wind up like it goes from snow to ice and then back to snow, and
right.
Of course Mike was out of town, so it's always a good time. It was, but by 3 days or 4 days it's gone because the sun comes out and
right.
where it's all gone. And it's Texas, so it gets scared. But, you jinxed yourself because just before you got sick, do you remember saying, like, oh, I never get sick?
Me and Jeff talked about it on the show this past Monday. Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about. And then that night, boom.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And you got Vicky sick, too.
Yes, I did, but she kind of deserves it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I don't remember exactly when this was, but there was one day Vicky she was in town, and she didn't come on the air with us, but she stopped by the studio. I think I had just finished doing a show, and she stopped by to say hello, and she came into the studio. We were in here for about 10 minutes, and then she left. And then that night when she got home, she told me that her and her husband came down with COVID.
Oh.
And when she came in to visit her husband, she knew her husband was sick already. She didn't know it was COVID at the time, but he was already sick. And I even said to her, I said, are you bringing COVID into the studio? I'll kill you. She says, no, it's fine, it's fine. And then, then it turned out they both got COVID. So, So, it was kind of like
payback?
Yeah, it was like payback. She kind of deserved it.
Okay. Note to self when coming to see you, that I make sure I take a COVID test and an RSV test.
Hey, if you walked out here and said, hey, I didn't know at the time, but I just found out, no problem. But she knew her husband was sick already.
Oh. Well,
So
maybe she just wanted to share the love.
Well, right, and I was sharing it right back to her.
Yeah, but it's just it's kind of weird. Like you don't tempt fate like that, Like you put it's like in Yiddish what we call a kenahara on yourself, which means like you don't say it out loud. Like you don't put that out there in the universe, which you did.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what I did.
So don't say that shit again.
Well, maybe I'll say, I'm the picture perfect of health all the time, because then maybe I'll get better again.
Yeah. Well, you never know. Reverse psychology works sometimes.
I hope so, man. Yeah, because this is bullshit, man.
Yeah. Did you test yourself?
Did I what myself?
Did you what? Did you test yourself? Did you test yourself?
No, I did not. I didn't really. I don't see the purpose of that. I'm sick. Okay, I know I'm sick, and they're cold-like symptoms, and it's the same medications. So I'm like, all right, well, I got something.
Yeah, it's a little different, but that's okay. It's just because I work with somebody, who's in the medical field and seeing the COVID. So and RSV is really bad out there. So,
a friend of mine has RSV right now, and it's kicking her ass. This girl I work with at PAL. I feel terrible. And then to top it off, she's got she might need a root canal, but the dentist won't touch her because she's on meds for the RSV.
Yeah.
So she's in double pain. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad. And it used to be only something that kids used to get. So it's now that everybody is kind of susceptible to it. It's crazy. It is really crazy.
And that's
hospitals are kind of getting. Mike said that the vents are like almost half taken right now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's not just COVID. It's RSV because it affects the lungs as well.
Yeah,
so.
Right.
But it's all I guess the kids didn't get sick, correct?
It started with Lisa, then Sammy, then our dog, then me. Zach has not gotten it.
What are you making out with the dog for?
Well, Lisa wouldn't kiss me while she was sick.
Just an innocent bystander, man.
Oh yeah. He was miserable. He had to be at least 4 days. He was just on the same spot on the couch, just laying there like he was dead. Oh yeah, he was. It's been like our house for the past 2 weeks has been like a funeral type vibe. It's just been like quiet and dark and quiet and it's been and I've barely seen my family because we're all staying away from each other. And it's crazy.
Did you get Lisa to get some holy water or anything?
No.
Oh. Just saying, maybe a little sprinkle, making sure it doesn't set you on fire. Just making sure. I stay away from that shit,
I know. Yeah.
Listen, I've been in enough Catholic churches, in Hicksville, obviously, because all my friends were not Jewish and going to their, masses and stuff like that. And I'll never forget, one time, a very close friend of mine, no longer, but, they were all Roman Catholic or Irish Catholic, and they were going up for communion, and I was like, I want to go. She's like, what? I said, I just want to go. How? She's like, you can't go up and get communion. I said, who's going to know? I just want to see what it's like. And she's like, she turns to her father and tells him, and he gives me a look like, don't even. And I was like, oh, shit. He's like, well, and so I asked her, I said, can you bring me back one just so I can know? She's like, oh, it doesn't work that way. Like, I'd bring you a piece of challah, if when we were having at the end, I was like, damn it. Because my brother, my oldest one, David, he was at a funeral, and it was Billy Ryder's mom's funeral.
Oh, sure.
And they went and it was a whole mass. So they did communion, and he was very close friends with Jeannie and the family. So he's in the row with the family. And so they're all getting up, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, oh, I guess I should get up, So he gets up online, and everybody in the place is like, because they all know, hello, Mr. Jufo is standing in line waiting for communion. Everybody knows he's Jewish, so he's like last in line, and everybody, you could hear the murmur and the giggles, Ruby's going up to get communion, and everybody's watching. They just are waiting to see if he gets communion. And just as he gets to the person before my brother, the priest turned around and set it down, and Dave's like, okay, well, I guess he just turned around and went back to his seat. It was it's almost like the priest knew, no, this one is not one of ours.
Yeah, it was like some kind of Catholic meter went off, in his headset. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, no, not with that hair. He's not one of ours.
Wow. What'd your brother think you just pay $1 and get it, and get one, right? Wow.
No, I don't know what he was just doing. He just said, well, everybody else is getting up because he never really went to church with all of his friends.
Yeah, but let me tell you, you're not missing anything. It never tasted good.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I take it, I hear the best is when you don't realize it. I'm very I don't know, I observe a lot of people. So I'm a people watcher. So watching these people get the communion and then sit back in their seat, and almost every single one of them putting their finger in their mouth trying to get it off the roof of their mouth is like the funniest thing ever. And I'm like, so what's the point? I don't get it. It's like, isn't it supposed to like just dissolve? And every single person, you see them put their head down, and as they're putting their head down, putting their finger in their mouth.
And then that's the other side of that too, because you're not. Well, now people do, but when we were kids and previous to that, you weren't supposed to touch it.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
why is that bad? Like juju or something like that?
Yeah. Lightning will come down and strike you.
Yeah.
It's not. That's why if you look at old film, if footage of people going up for communion, they just stick their tongue out and the priest puts it on your tongue, because you're not supposed to touch it. But now it's more acceptable. The priest puts it in your hand and then you take it out of your hand and put it in your mouth yourself. But yeah, but either way, I mean, it didn't taste good. It was it was like a stale cookie.
Oh, a stale cookie. All right. I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't missing anything. Don't worry.
Oh, it's putting it. So he just puts it on your tongue. Like I've always seen it where they put their hands out.
No, you stick your tongue out, and he just places it on your tongue.
Oh.
And not that I've done communion. I haven't done it in years, but I have never done it where I put my hand out. I always stick my tongue out, and the priest just places it on my tongue. Yep.
Wow. I'm so glad I'm Jewish.
And I'm sure Fremder's mind is just going into overload right now with priests and tongues, and he probably fainted. Actually, probably.
He passed out from all the jokes that are coming through.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh well, I hope you feel better.
I thank you for that.
I was just had to say, like, don't put that stuff out in the universe anymore. Okay.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm going to stop doing that. Yep.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. And you got to get down to Texas still.
Yes, that is, I think, next on the list
travel list.
on the 24-hour trips. Yeah, I think that is the next trip we're going to make, and I'll have to. I'll talk to
24
Jeff.
hours. I got a podcast thing down here for you. You can interview all the comics down in Texas.
Oh, yeah, we might have to do an extended visit then. I didn't even think. And there's even a, I think it's in, is it Houston? There's a comedy club where I have a connection to the owner, so I would love to actually, hook up.
Well, Houston's 5 hours away from me.
Maybe I'm not sure if it's Houston or not. I'll have to look it up. But you're right though. Yeah, I need more than 24-hour fix if I'm making the trip down there to see you. So.
Yeah, you gotta, and Jeff too. Jeff said he would, when he gets all better, he's gotta be able to come down here since he knows the area.
Yes.
So you could bring the kids. We have enough room for everybody.
To bring the kids. I mean, I just, I want to enjoy Carol. I don't know if I want to bring my kids get in the way. You know what I mean?
They always get in the way.
Absolutely.
That's what you have them for.
Well, we have them for child labor. That's what we have them for. But
I forgot about that.
That's
that
right.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I know it's kind of like every time I have to tell Zach, like when it's chore day, and I get like the eyes. I mean, he does it, but it's like I get the eyes, and I'm like, you know what, dude? At this age, I shouldn't have to be telling you anything.
Right.
But we've never given. And I know it's not looked well upon, but I never gave him money to do his chores. When people say, you give him money. I remember, it's like, I remember getting 10 cents if I mopped the floor in the kitchen. It's like big whopping 10 cents. I'd go to F&M Deli and get 2 pieces of bazooka.
That's right. Yep. I didn't even get paid for my chores. I just was told to do them, or my payment was not getting smacked. That was my payment.
Yeah. Pretty much, and that's the way I look at Zach. One time he's like, well, he one time brought up, he goes, my friends get paid money for doing chores. I don't know how he found this out. Whoever kid ratted, I looked at him, I said, you have a roof over your head? You got food on the table? You got clothes on your back? And he's like, yeah. I said, payment done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like, no, this is, do I get paid to cook, clean, and do everything that I do for everybody? No.
The way I see it, you still owe me, so get back to work.
Yeah, no kidding, right? You know, it's like, I was a nanny. I know what it takes.
That's right.
So, no, it's okay. But, yeah, and I looked, the Rangers are actually playing the Mets this year, but they're playing up in New York. So.
Oh, all right. All right.
They're not here.
Well, yeah, I definitely want. I was gonna say maybe we'll just buy you a ticket to get you up here, but I want to get down there. I want to see life down there.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot. But you have to just to see Buc-ee's, in person.
Buc-ee's, and then I don't know. It might take a while, but I got to see Mark White too. I'm very curious what his life is like down there, and I haven't seen him in a few years. So I want to see him.
Isn't he in Austin? He's in Austin, right?
And how far is that from you?
3 hours.
Oh, that's.
But it's like a nothing. When people say 3 hours, like going to Austin is like nothing. Zach's gallery is in Austin, so it's not a big drive. So
cool.
And Austin's a fun city. But it's a little crazy right now. But it's a fun city, so it's worth going. But the barbecue here, Mr. I love meat, so Texas barbecues. And the thing is, I don't eat it, but we go out for barbecue once in a while because the boys in the house love it. So yeah, I sit there with a salad. It's very interesting.
Well, actually. Believe it or not, though, but I think, believe it or not, if I'm coming down there, I think Buc-ee's is more of my priority than having some barbecue.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you could eat your whole day through Buc-ee's because they serve breakfast and then, it's open 24 hours. So you could stay and stay. If you have a camper, you could just sleep and just stay, and then anything you need, and then the bathrooms right there. Cleanest bathrooms in the world.
Wow. Yeah. See, there you go. You're enhancing my point even more. Buc-ee's is the top. Well, you're the top of the list, and then Buc-ee's is second.
Aww.
Absolutely.
That's so sweet of you.
That's me.
I'll have to sanitize myself before you come, but that's okay. All right. Well, you just take care of yourself, please, and feel better. And I don't know. I'll probably be up in New York before that because I think possibly in May.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Possibly in May, I'm going to be looking at a trip to come up. I have to collect certain things from my uncle that are in my grandmother's place.
Okay.
So,
and then keep me updated, and I'm happy to help if you need help with the collection.
Yeah, he's not the problem. The will went into probate because my egg donor was fighting the will. So, I know you love it. That is in the process right now. So it's been kind of hellish, unfortunately.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and it really just, pisses on the parade of remembering my grandmother and, her legacy and everything she did for New York and New York teachers and everything else. And this was her wishes. And then it's like, no, sorry. So it's been quite hard, to say the least.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a positive, though, is seeing you in May, though. That'd be great.
Yeah, so hopefully it'll be all done by then because I can't collect anything until probate is over.
Wow.
So that, because, it's property. So
right.
It's a whole big thing, And also, when you were talking about your dad passing away, and finding out, all the information, that's what I have to do today is actually contact where my sperm donor died and his death certificate because I'm not being told what he died of, and for medical reasons within the family I need to know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, and I don't know why it's being kept a big secret, but it is, and no one in his family even knew he died.
Oh, he was on the outs with everybody.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
And the only reason the egg donor knew is because I guess Social Security contacted her.
Right.
So, and then 3 years after that, I found out. So I'm been trying just for medical history, for me and my son.
Right. Well,
so
3 years you found out, meaning what? 3 years later, you found out that he died 3 years later?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But she knew. I come from really good stock.
They did something right. That's for sure.
Yeah. I did something right. I made my own path and made sure everything they did, I didn't. So there
you go.
That's the way you got to look at it. I think I found out when I was in my mid-40s that they were swingers. It's like, what?
Hey now.
Yeah, from my older brother. He kept that from me for years. He was visiting, and we had like a whole bunch of friends over the house and talking about just family. And we have like a weird kind of thing in our family where my grandfather's sister married my grandmother's brother. So it's not, and everybody's like, that's incest. I'm like, it's not incest. It's where brother and sister, cross line, sister married the brother.
Right. Yes.
Our family line is very close within that one. Like, we could, the same genetic makeup. So, and then our friends were just like, what the hell is wrong with your family? And then my brother came out and he goes, yeah, and our parents were swingers, so I didn't think my father was my father until I was like almost 18 years old. And I was like, what?
Holy moly.
He said, oh, I never told you that. I was like, no. So he said, yeah, one time our house was the house to go to. They would play cribbage. Back then, they'd have people have bridge groups or whatever else. They had a cribbage group, and the kids, we were in the Levitt house, so it was like all the bedrooms were upstairs, and they're like, okay, kids go to bed, and we were just like, okay, so we went upstairs, and I think my brother was like 12, the oldest one, and he had a really bad headache, he said, and all the Tylenol was downstairs, so he was like, I can't sleep through this, so he starts to go down the stairs, in the middle of the house, of the Levitt house, and he said all the lights were off and all you could see were like the bodies everywhere, and you could hear noises. He goes, I ran upstairs so quick and just hid under my covers.
Holy cow.
I was like, that's awesome. So even more reason. Yeah. So not, hence why I call them egg and sperm donors.
Right. Yep.
Being more than, being a parent is more than that. So, yeah, it's just like, it's great. The stories that I hear. Yeah. They just keep coming too. The older I get, I guess everybody feels like I can know more. And it's like, no, I don't like the visuals. I don't need.
Yeah, right.
So
your parents having a swinger party. Yeah, that's a visual, all right.
While their kids are upstairs.
Yeah,
exactly. Send them to the grandparents. They sent us to the grandparents all the time. I mean, half of my life I grew up in Queens Village, so it's like, send us away. No, they didn't do that. So, good times.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good times.
Well,
all right.
I'm sure they thought so.
Have a good rest of your, huh?
I said I'm sure they thought so. It was a good time.
Oh, God, I don't even, I think I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Thanks, but that's okay. All right, take care of yourself.
All
Be
right.
well. Get yourself a humidifier.
Will
It'll
do.
help.
Thank you.
Okay?
All right.
That's everybody. Love you.
See you, baby. Love you, too. Carol, checking in. Very nice. With that, I think it's time to go. Let's see. Let me just catch up on comments here. Let's see. Excuse me. Kenny Forgione getting ready for his show tonight. Go see Wonder Stories. I don't know where they are, but go see them tonight. Hey, Kenny, best wishes on your show, says Ann. Just heard on the news, apparently the new administration will be taxing the snow due to Jack Frost not wanting to make it here. I'm not getting that. It doesn't have a name to it. Fremda says, I'm Jewish. I always thought holy water was when a priest had diarrhea. Oh, what the? GD, some priests offer the choice. Yeah, now these days, yeah. Vicky, the thing you did was you invited trouble. Yes, absolutely right. Father first name Peter, last name File. Oh. And let's see. Priest's favorite key for the choir is singing in a minor. Yes. I think the first thing out of Wedding Machine. What? Well, I'm not reading that. All right. Texas barbecue is what? Best Texas barbecue is Terry Black's. Okay. All right. Okay. With that, time for us to go. Today is Wednesday. We got Circling the Drain tonight at 7. And that's it today. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Once again, I'll be back here tomorrow with Frank and Jeff and Kenny Forgione, his wife Sue Turner, drummer Steve Holly, keyboard player Chris Clark. So we're going to have a busy time tomorrow, but it's going to be a good one. It'll definitely make up for this one. Sorry about that. I'm just, wasn't feeling it today, and I should have taken a day off. But thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you guys for helping me out. Thanks for the phone calls, the messages, all of it. I appreciate it very much, keeping me going today. And, of course, playing the club this weekend, Leah Rudick, Terry McNeely, Hugh Murray, Tony Landolfi, Johnny Watson, Samantha Ramsdell is tomorrow night. Louis C.K. starts this week. Go to govs.com, make your reservations. Some great comedy shows. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. We got some stuff coming up. And there's information on there as well on how you can hire us for your event. Knockem Dead Comedy. All right, we are out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Hopefully Mike will be back with us next week. Who knows with that jerk. All right, we'll see you guys later. Sorry I wasn't feeling well. See you guys later. Goodbye.